Hello everybody. Well, it's been a while since I did my last tutorial on drawing, and I'm still working on this particular project. I haven't touched it much in a few weeks, and I thought I'd go ahead and continue on it here. I'm still in the shading process on the face, and so as you can see here, I just started off with a 2H pencil. Now there's many ways you can go about shading, as I brought out in some of my previous videos. You can just use graphite powder if you like with a Q-tip and apply it that way. Using a pencil, you have a little more control, though it is a little more tedious, takes a little longer. And in this case here, I decided to go with the pencil just for this particular example here. Now the reason I started with a 2H is because I'm going for a smoother texture, and the 2H pencil, for example, will allow me to get into the fibers of the paper better than a softer pencil, which would show more of the paper and the pattern of the paper if I just went straight to a softer, darker pencil. But what I'll be doing here is I'll go in with this softer pencil, and you're going to do this lightly, okay? You notice how I hold the pencil all the way in the back, because you don't want to add pressure. You want to let the pencil just glide across the paper. Even if it doesn't go as dark as you want it to, when that's the case, you just go to a darker pencil. Don't press into the paper. That's never a good idea. And it's always a good idea to start, when you're doing shading, start light with a light grade, a harder pencil, because it's easier to add graphite, darker and more graphite, than it is to take it off the paper. And you want to try to minimize how much you're going to be working that paper, because you're going to be adding graphite, you're going to blend, you're going to take graphite off. As you can see here, I'm now taking a little bit off when I see a little unevenness. You can make adjustments along the way. So I'm just going to go ahead here and just put my base with the 2H, and then I'll go and I'll blend it in. I'll try to look at my reference photo and make sure that I'm not doing anything wacky. I'm going to try to watch every little detail that's on my reference. And you want to check your reference photo every few seconds. You just want to keep going back and forth and doing it that way, rather than looking at your reference once or twice and then just going about drawing and shading, and as if you're going to go from your memory. Don't do that. If you're going for photorealism, you want to get as close to your reference as possible. You constantly look at that reference. Now, you don't see me doing that. You don't see my head, but my eyes are turning to the reference to the left constantly. And I'm just going about putting this base shading in here with the 2H. And I'm going to warn you, this whole video is going to be pretty much me just shading my forehead. This is a time-consuming process. I have actually literally been working on this for a few months now, because I've been ill and I haven't had much time to sit at my drawing desk, and so it's taken me a long time. But when I have a little time like right now, I'm not going to be in a hurry. I'm going to take my time, and if it's going to take me a few more weeks to finish this, so be it. You want to do it right, you got to do it with some patience. Now here you can see I'm blending, and that gives it the nice smooth texture look. And I'll just blend that in, and just as I do with the pencil, I do with the Q-tip. In other words, while I am blending, I act, or I imagine that I'm drawing with that Q-tip. And I actually am, because I'm moving graphite around as well, covering areas that I want a little darker, lightening areas, and smoothing everywhere that I don't want a grainy effect on my skin there. If I want grainy effect, I'm going to draw it in rather than just have the paper produce that. And so if you start with a 2H pencil, for example, you don't have to. You can go with a HB or 2B if you want. You get used to the mediums that you're drawing with, and you get used to looking at the textures and saying, okay, I've done this before and I prefer this particular grade first, whatever. But in this case here, I'm going for a smooth look, so I'm going to go with this 2H, and I'm going to cover a certain amount of area. I'm going to blend, as you can see here. I'm going to blend it. I'm getting it in between the hairs there, which means I'm going to have to eventually redraw some of that back in. And after the 2H, I'm going to start increasing the grades of pencil. So I'll probably go from a 2H to maybe a HB, then maybe to a B or a 2B, and so forth and so on. And I will just be adding, darker grades on top or lighter grades and so forth. And so go ahead and just kind of watch what I'm doing here. I'll interject with some notes along the way, text format, so you can see what I'm doing. And I know that some of my subscribers actually can't hear, so the text usually works out a lot better than hearing me talk. So you can see I just switched to an HB, so I'm now going darker. Anyway, that's probably about all the talking I'm going to do for this video for right now. I'm going to play a little music in the background, and I'm just going to pop text up on the screen, as I mentioned, and so that you can follow along with that. And then I'll chime in at the end of this video to say my thanks, and see you later. Well, that's going to do it for this video. This should give you a little bit of an idea of, you know, one way of shading and blending. There's many ways to accomplish this, as I'm sure many of you are aware. But just kind of take away what you can, you know, start light, and then just add darker pencils in areas that need more darkness, and just kind of build it up little by little by little. Anyway, this is far from being done, but I'm going to take a break here. I'm exhausted. It's been a while, and so there you go. That's how much has been done so far. There's the reference on the left. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.